How do you manage your clients or your team for your marketing agency if they don't live in the same country or even the same city or state as you? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly that. So stay tuned. Here we go. All right, welcome back everybody, and thank you for joining me. My name is Jordan Steen, also known as Serial Entrepreneur, and at my channel, we talk all about starting a marketing agency, a personal brand, or building a business online. So if you're interested in any of those topics, you're going to want to make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get updated with all of our future videos, our free training, our free giveaways that we do every single week here at my channel. So guys, the great thing about this industry is the fact that you don't actually have to work near the people who are either working in your agency or for your agency, and you don't have to actually live near the people who you take on as clients for your agency. Now, I do recommend some things. First and foremost, if you've never worked in this industry before, then you're going to want to start obviously probably with your business locally. And the reason why is because you need to get your feet up under you before you try and take on virtual clients. But if you are up for the challenge, it is a way for you to take on new business from pretty much anywhere across the world as long as they have the budget and the means to work with you virtually. So in this video, we're going to cover two main parts or two main things that you're going to want to consider when building a business that's going to work with other businesses virtually or customers virtually, and what you're going to need to do to also work with the team that you build on a virtual basis. So here we go. Let's get into it. Oh, and P.S. make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll give you a tool that we actually use, a software that we use to actually manage this process so that way we can work with anybody across the world. But also throughout this video, we're going to be talking about several other tools that we use to complete this job and make this functional. So if you're interested in learning about all of the tools, you're going to want to pay attention in this video. So working with clients on a remote basis is the first thing we want to talk about. It's two main parts, and it's going to be talking about working with the client side of things and then working with your team and finding people who you contract out at a cheaper rate so that way you're able to really grow your business in the beginning. The key with this is to keep your costs low in the beginning, right? You don't have a ton of budget to spend and just to throw money away. So you have to make what you have work for you. And then everything else you're going to have to pick up, right? So you want to make that budget really work as much as you can for you. And so this is how you're going to get it done. So let's talk about the clients and really what's needed to get that job done. So when you're working with clients, really, if you're working with them virtually or not, the biggest thing that's going to come into play here is doing a proper onboarding. So that way you get enough information about the business, you ask the right questions, you know their past marketing, you understand who their customers are, what their goals are. Are they trying to drive leads or sales or views or engagement, whatever, what are they trying to do? And that's really what you find out in the onboarding call. Also, what I recommend doing is looking into platforms that are going to make this communication process easier. So we use first and foremost something like Google Hangouts or Slack, something that is a messenger platform that we're able to communicate with people. Also, we understand that email is a perfect platform for doing that too. So we make sure that we have our communication channels with clients open. The next thing I recommend doing is in the first couple of months, setting up a bi-weekly call, basically where you call them every 2 weeks and then get to the point where you're going to call them at least once a month and go over campaign goals, what their objectives are, if anything's coming up that you need to know about, basically to plan out the content for the month. Now, it's okay to make as many touch points or touch calls as you need to, but I recommend trying not to get to the once per week call or anything where you're calling daily, because that's what the customer begins to expect. And as you grow, you won't obviously be able to call that customer every single day. So don't set up with the wrong idea in mind. You want them to get used to a service that they're going to receive consistently, so that way they don't get, beyond your expectations or their expectations with regards to what service you provide. So as I mentioned, the onboarding process is super important, and we actually just put together a video on that process. So check out this video up here in the top right hand corner. Some other important things to remember are setting deliverable dates, or basically dates where you expect to have certain milestones reached or accomplished. So if you're planning on generating leads and you're running an ad campaign, then you should tell them, hey, this month in month one, we expect to generate this many leads. After we optimize and collect more data and make better campaigns, in month two, we should make this much of a return. Month 3 should be this month of a return. At month 4, we plan to increase your budget by this much, and you should see this much of a return. Setting expectations so that way at least have some sort of guideline to go by, with little stipulation. Obviously, leads aren't guaranteed, and your level of marketing experience is going to have a lot to do with how much you're able to generate and how well your campaigns perform. So question that I want you to answer below: have you ever worked with a client that was basically in another area and the relationship not work out for you? If so, what was it that didn't work out? Or if it did work out, what do you think that you did specifically that helped build that relationship and really build the ability for you to be able to work with that client being in another area? Now, the other thing you're going to want to consider when starting up a business where you plan to work virtually is the fact that you're going to want to start to hire teammates, basically team members, or otherwise known as virtual assistants. Now, the good thing is you don't necessarily have to hire from people in your country, because there might be other countries out there that have a more affordable rate for you to work at, which again is good for you because it allows you to be able to scale your business quicker because you're not paying as much to get that work done. But like with your clients, you're going to need to know some things to make sure that that process runs smoothly. So here's some things that I wanted to mention that also relate to the client side of your business, some apps and some software that you'll be able to use that will also relate to the client side and to the VA side of your business. The first thing you're going to want is something to store all your documents and things that you'll use to basically build the content and the campaigns for your clients or for your business. And what we like to use is Google Drive. And the reason why is because it's super cheap to get unlimited storage, and it allows you to collaborate, add collaborators, update and edit documents together, suggest editing, create PowerPoints, do all kinds of things. And it really is the backbone to all of the information or content that we create for our business. So if you're looking for something to store your documents, if you've been looking at something like OneDrive or any of the other Box or whatever, Dropbox, if you're looking at any of those, I strongly suggest checking out Google first. That's just my recommendation. Another thing you're going to need is something for meetings, right? Because if you're going to meet with these businesses, they still want to see a person and they want to know who they're working with. So a lot of the time you need to be able to show them video. So I'm going to give you 2 resources here. Number 1 thing that you're going to want is a video app to use, right? And I recommend 2. Number 1, Google Hangouts is great. That's why I am heavily involved in all of the Google apps that are available, but as well as things like Zoom. Zoom is a great platform that's also free, and it's really easy to use. You can share your screen, things like that. So check out Zoom. It might be more suitable for you. A lot of people that I've come across like to use Zoom. I personally don't like to use Skype. That's just my preference. So I would recommend checking out the first 2 that I suggested. The second thing I'm going to suggest to you guys, let me grab it, the Logitech 1080p camera. It's a great camera. I love the camera, and the reason why is because it shoots in 1080p. And if you don't have a camera that's going to perform well, I really suggest getting one of those. Also, the last thing would be this Fiffin mic right here. Both of the links for both of those products are in the description below all of my videos. You'll see it under the tools and software equipment section. If you plan to work virtually, you're going to want a good camera and a good mic. Just trust me on that. You can't work virtually without either of those 2. So check out those products. Again, those are in the description below. Now, as far as working with teams that are virtual or, working with virtual assistants, the most important thing is to set up guidelines, training, rules for them to follow, and very clear instructions for them to complete any project. The biggest thing that I see, or the biggest area of failure, is when people actually go in and they try to create a task or a description for a task, and they don't include anywhere near to enough information, yet they're expecting this finalized product to come out that's supposed to look immaculate and like, $10,000 was spent on the development. And that's the thing. You shouldn't expect that type of situation to happen. For example, I have people who reach out to me all the time. Jordan, how do I hire a social media manager? Personally, I don't think you should hire a social media manager because that's one person to do all of those jobs. I recommend hiring a designer, a copywriter, a post scheduler, a creative director to come up with ideas, all of those different positions that make up the content that go on Facebook. Not just one person who sits there and creates images and copy and smashes it all together on a Facebook post. So that's pretty much it for this video. But before you go, I wanted to give you that free thing that I mentioned in the beginning that's going to help you with managing the team and all of your clients and the projects that you guys have going on. It's really, outside of Google Drive, this would be the other supporting software that we use. That is the backbone to everything that we do, all of the content we create that you see right here, all of the things that we do for clients, everything that we do to grow our company is based in this software. And really, I'm promising you, if you want to get better results, you want to get faster results, and you want to just optimize your business process to the best of your ability, then you need to check out this app. So the app is called, and you probably have heard me talk about it before, but it's called Asana. Now, I'm going to leave a link for Asana in the description below this video. All you have to do is go click that link. It's a free link. It's not even an affiliate link. I don't make any money doing it. I just like giving it out because it's freaking awesome and it's what helps us do so well. So go check out that link. It's right below this video in the description. Yeah, you'll want to check that out. Oh, and by the way, guess what? We're already super helpful because if you're planning on using Asana, we've already put together a video on how we use Asana to help you facilitate the jobs for our team. So check out this video up here in the top right hand corner. You're gonna love that one too. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me and stopping by. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and the notification bell so you get all of our future updates and content that we release here at my channel, as well as all of the guides and templates and free courses that we give away. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye guys. Ready to start living the six-figure work wherever, be your own boss lifestyle? Well, at Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we'll teach you how to use a laptop and internet to start your own social media and digital marketing agency. Get started with our free Facebook ads training. Links in the description below, guys. See you in the course. Serial Entrepreneur out.